Okay, hello everyone. So, this is the second lecture on straight line, that is the continuation of the previous lecture. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about basic prerequisite for starting straight lines, right? Like the basic coordinate system and what is your Euclidean geometry. Actually, you are doing Euclidean. Always remember, you are doing Euclidean geometry. In the higher level, if you study mathematics in the higher level, in the postgraduate level, and maybe after postgraduate level, you will study non-Euclidean geometry. So you are learning actually Euclidean geometry. So straight lines too. So before we go straight line, so what is a straight line actually? We are talking about a straight line. Any equation of first degree of the form ax plus by plus c equal to 0, where abc are constants, always represents a straight line. At least one out of a and b is non-zero, it must be. So any first degree equation in x and y always represents a straight line. Okay, that is the basic definition of straight line. Any first degree, that is the power of x and y is 1. Okay, now what is slope? If a straight line makes an angle theta in anti-clockwise direction with the positive direction of x-axis, 0 less than equal to theta less than equal to 180 degree, but theta cannot be 90 degree, then the slope of the line denoted by m is tan theta, and m is the tan theta. Okay, so let me show you with a diagram. So this is your coordinate axis, and this is one of the line, and this angle is called the inclination of the line. This is the theta. This line is called the inclination of the line, and tan, this is the positive. This angle is actually formed with the positive direction of the x-axis in anti-clockwise direction. Always remember, in anti-clockwise direction. So slope is actually m tan or tan theta, tangent of this inclination. Slope is actually m equal to tan theta, tangent of this inclination, and tan 90 is undefined, so that is why theta cannot be 90 degree. So your perpendicular, that is y axis, has no slope. Okay, undefined slope of if some straight line has slope undefined, then that line must be perpendicular to the x axis. Okay, this is the concept of slope. Now if the line is passing through 2 points, if you don't know the inclination, suppose this is the diagram, suppose this is the diagram, you don't know the inclination, this is the diagram, this you know only 2 points only, a and b. So coordinate of a is x1 y1 and coordinate of b is x2 y2, right? So if you draw the perpendiculars, so if you draw the perpendiculars and draw the perpendiculars here, so this actually, this is your x1 starting from origin, and this length is your x2, right? This is your x2, this length is actually your y2, right? And this length is your y1, right? And you increase the line, so that it will intersect the x-axis. So this is the positive direction and this is the anti-clockwise direction. This makes an angle theta. Suppose this is theta, so this angle should be theta, right? And this difference will be, this is the difference between the two abscissa, that is x2 minus x1, and this is your y2 minus y1, right? So your tan theta is given by, you can easily perpendicular by base, so your tan theta is y2 minus y1 by y2 minus y1, this tan theta is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So this is your m equal to tan theta, right? So m equal to tan theta equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. This is given by if your inclination is not known to you. So this is the slope, when inclination is not known to you. Now there are some important notes on that. If theta equal to 90 degree, aim does not exist, as already mentioned, and the line is parallel to y axis. This is first point. If theta equal to 0, aim equal to 0, and the line is parallel to x axis, right? Let m1 and m2 be two slopes of two given lines. If the lines are parallel, m1 equal to m2, and vice versa. If lines are perpendicular, m1 into m2 equal to -1. Okay, so if lines are parallel, you see, if the lines are parallel like this, then their angles are same. So this is m1, this is m2. If lines are perpendicular, you see, if two lines are perpendicular like this is 90 degree, then m1 into m2 equal to -1. Okay, so m1 m2 equal to -1. This is the criteria for parallel and perpendicular. So we have different forms of line now. Equation of a line parallel to x axis, that is given by y equal to b, and equation of a line parallel to x axis, that is given by x equal to a. This is very easy to identify, because you see equation of a line parallel to y axis, x axis, that is this distance is b, so it is given by y equal to b, and this distance is a constant, and if a line is parallel to y axis, then this distance is constant a, so that is given by x equal to a. Okay, now what is the slope intercept form of a line? Let us have a slope intercept form of a line. Y equal to mx plus c, that is given by m is the slope of the line, equal to tan theta, and c is the intercept. Okay, so your y equal to mx plus c is given by like this. Suppose, yeah, this is the line intersecting, and if its slope is m and this is the angle theta, then this line can be expressed as in the form y equal to mx plus c. This is called slope intercept form of a line, because this portion is c. C is called the y intercept. C is called the y intercept. That can be verified also. You can verify that. Let me show you. Yeah, let me show you. This is the axis, and suppose this is the line, this is theta. Okay, and this is any point on the line is p, any point on the line is p x comma y. Okay, and this is the perpendicular, you draw perpendicular here, and this is your c, because your y intercept is c, the portion cuts from the y axis, that is your c. So this angle is theta also, and this portion is y minus c, right? And this portion is x, this length is x, this length is x, right? So what is your tan theta? What is your m equal to tan theta? M equal to tan theta equal to perpendicular by base. So y minus c by x. If you multiply and cross multiply, if you simplify, y equal to mx plus c is the slope intercept form, right? So this is one of the general form of the straight line. Okay, so any line can be right in the slope intercept form. So this is the slope intercept form of a line. Next, another form, that is called point slope form of a line. If a line passes through the point x comma y, x1 y1 and has slope m, then the line can be written as y minus y1 equal to m into x minus x1, because this is also very simple, because you have any point xy, any point on the line, and the straight line passes through x1 y1, so its slope is given by m equal to x minus x1 by y minus y1. That is the slope formula actually you are using. So this is the point slope form of a line. This is very useful. If you know the slope and if you know the point through which the straight line is passes, then you can get the equation of the line. Okay, now 2-point form of a line. 2-point form of a line. So if a line passes through 2 points, x1 y1, x2 y2, this is your x1 y1 and x2 y2, right? then the slope of the line is given by m equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Already we have learned this in the beginning, because this is the slope formula. If you don't know the inclination, so if you substitute m in the previous formula, you can get this 2-point formula. 2-point formula form of a line. 2-point form of a line. Okay. Next, intercept form of a line. Yeah, this is also very useful, very useful. So if a equation of a line which cuts off intercepts a and b from the x-axis and y-axis, then x by a plus y by b equal to 1. So you have, this is the line, and suppose this is the straight line. The red line cuts the x-axis at a comma 0 and y-axis at 0 comma b. So you get 2 points here. So with the help of these 2 points, using 2-point formula, yeah, this is the 2-point formula, you can write the equation of the straight line in this form, intercept form, that is x by a and plus y by b equal to 1. So any straight line, suppose it is given that 2x plus 3y equal to 6. This is the equation of a straight line. Because it is a first degree equation, you can write in the intercept form. So you can write x by 3 plus y by 2 equal to 1. Look at that. So it means that the line cuts the x-axis at 3 comma 0 and y-axis at 0 comma 2. This is called the 2-point formula. Okay, this is called the 2-point form. Using the 2-point formula, you can get the intercept form. Directly you can get the nature of the line. You can draw the line, and a picture means 1,000 words, or 1,000 words actually. So if you draw the picture, you can get everything from the picture. Okay, so this is how your intercept form of a line. Next form is parametric form. This is also very useful. You know that actually m is your y minus y1 equal to m is tan theta equal to x minus x1. So we can write this y minus y1 by sin theta, x minus x1 by cos theta equal to r. So any point on the line can be taken as x1 plus r cos theta, comma y1 plus r sin theta. Any point on the straight line can be taken as like this. This is very important. Parametric form. This is called the parametric form. R is a parameter because its value changes. Its value will change equation to equation. So that is why it is called the parameter, because this is constant for a fixed line. So any point on that line is given by this equation. You can get x, you can write this from equating first and the last, x equal to x1 plus r cos theta, and taking second and last you will get y1 plus r sin theta. So you can get these results from this equation actually. So this gives you the parametric form, parametric point, actually any point on the straight line. And next form is the normal form. What is the normal form? Let me draw one and let me prove that. Let me prove. This is very important. The equation of the line upon which the length of the perpendicular from the origin is p, and this perpendicular makes an angle alpha with the x-axis is given by x cos alpha plus y sin alpha is equal to p. Let me show you. So this is the axis, coordinate axis, and this is the straight line, suppose, and this is the perpendicular from the origin p. This is the perpendicular from the origin, and this angle is alpha. So this is the perpendicular OQ, suppose. This is a point, and this is any point. Let's take any point P on the line x comma y and draw one perpendicular once again, that is PL. Again draw perpendicular from here, right, this is, and draw perpendicular from here. So there are perpendiculars from PL and PM. Okay, this is the foot. Okay, this is suppose N and this is suppose M. Okay, if this angle is alpha, you can easily show that this angle is also alpha. Okay, if this angle is alpha, this perpendicular makes with the positive x-axis alpha, then this angle is alpha. Okay, PL is perpendicular to OA. PL is perpendicular to OX. Actually, this is your x. So let me write PL perpendicular to OX and LM perpendicular to LM is also perpendicular to OQ, right? And PN, look at that, PN is perpendicular to LM. So these are the perpendiculars, and POL is x, this distance is x. Okay, this is your x and this is your y. Got it? This is your x. So from triangle OLM, so let me write from triangle OLM, look at that, from triangle OLM, this triangle, this complete the triangle, yeah, this is the triangle OLM. Cos alpha equal to, what is cos alpha? Cos alpha equal to base by hypotenuse. So your base is actually OM and hypotenuse actually OL, right? So you have OM equal to x cos alpha because your OL is x, right? Got it? So this is your 1. From triangle, again from triangle PNL, right? Where is your triangle PNL? Yeah, this small triangle, I am considering this small triangle. You can write sine alpha, equal to what is sine alpha? Is perpendicular by hypotenuse. So your PN by PL, right? So you can get PN by PL. Okay, so PN by PL, so you can write PN equal to, PL is y, so y sine alpha, right? This is number 2. Now y sine alpha. Okay, now your MQ, this portion PN is equal to MQ, these portions are equal, so PN equal to MQ, equal to y sine alpha, right? These two portions are equal, so we can write small p, that is the length of the perpendicular, equal to OQ. Look at that, look at the diagram. Small p is this OQ. OQ is OM plus MQ, right? OQ is OM plus MQ, right? So OM plus MQ is x cos alpha plus y sine alpha. Clear? Because OM, you look at that, you have calculated OM as x cos alpha and MQ as y sine alpha. So it is proved that your length of the perpendicular is given by the required equation of the line is given by P equal to x cos alpha plus y sine alpha. So that was the proof. The equation of a line upon which the length of the perpendicular from the origin is P, that is given, and this perpendicular makes an angle alpha with x-axis, and that is given by x cos alpha plus y sine alpha equal to P, and this is called the normal form of the straight line. This is called the normal form of the straight line. Okay, next is distance between a point and a line, distance of a point from a line. So let me discuss about this. This is very simple. I'm not going to prove it. You can try to prove it because this is very simple to prove. So you have a line like this, and you have a point P. P is the coordinate x1 y1, and this is the line whose equation is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So you want to find out the perpendicular distance d from P to that line. This is the perpendicular distance, and that is given by d equal to mod modulus, because distance cannot be negative, modulus of ax1 plus by1 plus c by root over a square plus b square. Modulus of ax1 plus by1 plus c by root over a square plus b square. This is the distance formula. Distance of a point from a line, any point. And what about the distance between two parallel lines? You look at that, the parallel lines are represented by ax plus by plus c, because for parallel lines coefficient of x and y are same, but they will differ by a constant. So c and c1 are different, and the distance between the parallel lines are given by mod c minus c1 by root over a square plus b square. Okay, that is the distance between two parallel lines. Yeah, the what is the next I will talk about, what is the angle between two lines. Angle between two lines is given by tan theta. Angle between two lines is given by tan theta, and that is given by tan theta equal to plus minus m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 m2. Why this is plus minus? Because this is the angle and that obtuse angle can be the angle. This is your pi minus theta, right? So that is why there is a plus minus sign. So m1 m2 are the slope of two lines. If two lines are given, you can find out the angle between two lines, okay, by tan theta equal to plus minus m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 m2. This is the angle formula. And or you can put mod here. You can put mod. If you remove the mod, you can get plus minus, right? You can put mod here safely, because the plus minus is because of this region, the acute angle and the obtuse angle. This is the last slide today. So let me talk about the family of lines. So you have two lines L1 L2, then the general equation of any straight line passing through the point of intersection of the lines L1 L2 is given by L1 plus lambda into L2 equal to 0. So lambda belongs to R. Actually, what is that? That is because you have two lines. This is the lines L1 and this is the line L2. So you have an intersection L1 L2. So through this intersection there are infinite number of lines can pass, infinite number of lines. So these are called actually family of lines. This family of lines are represented by L1 plus lambda into L2. Lambda is a scalar, lambda is any real number. If you change the value of lambda, you will get different lines. Okay, so this is how you can get the family of lines of two intersections. So this is the theoretical aspect of the straight line. I covered all the theoretical aspects of the straight lines. So I hope these two videos will be helpful to you. You go through the videos, you subscribe my channel, and you share my video with your friends. Put some comments on the videos, put some likes, and just learn the topic. Okay, thank you all of you.